My client was driving her car. She was stopped at a red light. She got hit from behind. It wasn't a terrible or dramatic accident. The car didn't roll over. It didn't catch fire. She also didn't break any bones. And she wasn't all bruised and battered. She was sore. She had a sore neck and she had a sore back, and she didn't seem to heal. And in fact, the opposite happened. Everything got worse. Her pain got worse, her pain spread, and she grew depressed. And she didn't return to work. She wasn't functioning within her family. She wasn't caring for her home. And her life basically fell apart. My client was suffering from chronic pain, which is a difficult case to present because it's invisible. It doesn't show up on x-rays. There are no blood tests for it. It's a matter of believing the injured person. And in that case, it's very important to protect that person from any suspicion of exaggerating or faking. So, what does an insurance company do? Well, they hire investigators to see what that person's daily life looks like. And here's the problem. To an outsider, that daily life looks like anybody else's daily life. They may not be playing lacrosse or baseball or go bowling, but they will run errands. And they'll go to the physiotherapy clinic and they'll go to their doctor, and they might do a little bit of light grocery shopping. So innocuous surveillance can create the wrong impression. If we can, it's better overall and in fact more fair to the injured person to keep out any surveillance. So this one time, my client, who was suffering from chronic pain, was in court, and we had presented her case, and it was time for the defendants to present theirs. And they were going to start with the surveillance. The investigator was going to be their first witness. I stood up and I said, "Your Honor, I see the lawyer for the insurance company is here, but I don't see the lawyer for the investigator." Everything stops. This is a strange observation. Judge says, "Mr. Chapnik, why does the investigator need a lawyer?" Well, Your Honor, it appears from the records that the investigator accessed both my client's social services records and her banking records, neither of which he had permission to do. And if I'm right about this, he's committed a crime twice, and so have the people at social services and at the bank who gave him access to the information. So there are likely going to be at least 3 criminal defendants coming out of this gentleman's testimony. So in all fairness to him, he should have his own lawyer. The judge called a recess. And when the case resumed later that afternoon, the insurance company told the judge what had happened in the meantime, and that was they had settled the case. Basically, they gave up. The investigator wasn't willing to give evidence, and without his evidence, the insurance company realized that there was no reason to cast any doubt at all on my client's truthfulness. In fact, there wasn't anyway, but this was a more direct route to a fair result. One question. Didn't even go into evidence, and the case was over. I call that a win.